What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Vfeng. So the random question of the day is, if you were stuck on a desert island and you could only bring 5 survival items with you, what would they be? I want to know right down there in the comments box below. We were talking about this earlier on the Vape Stooges Discord server, and I chose chapstick because I literally carry chapstick with me everywhere I go. Seriously, if you guys come up to me at a vape expo, I will have chapstick in my pocket. 2 would be a metal canteen with some purification tablets because, I mean, let's face it, we all need water to drink. 3rd would be a metal shovel / hatchet combo, one of those little fold-up dealies you see at the Army Navy stores and stuff like that. 4th would be some paracord because, you know, you never know when you're going to need some string or rope. You can make snares and get food like that and all sorts of other uses for that stuff. 5th would be some painter's plastic because you can make a little sail for a little raft or something. You could, you know, cover up with it. You could use it as like sort of a blanket and, you know, all sorts of different uses for plastic out there in the wild. So those are my 5 survival items. I want to hear from you guys out there. Just drop them right down there in the comments box below. All right, guys, let's get down to brass tacks here. We're going to be looking at the Snowwolf Vfeng Dual Squonk mod here, and I do have to give a big shout out and thank you to Sigeli for sending these my way for the purpose of making this video. And with that, yeah, this is a really unique sort of squonk mod here because it doesn't only have 1 bottle, it has 2 bottles. You can actually put 2 different flavors if you wanted to in here, and it makes for a very unique experience. So taking a quick look online, this device comes in 3 different color options for you to choose from. You have black, red, and blue, and it's going to run you about 60 bucks. Now, that is a low price point. I've seen it for around 80 bucks online, so I did find a good deal, and I'll drop that link right down there in the description below if you guys want to take a look at one of these for yourself. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've got the Vfeng in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging, and then we'll take a look at what's inside. So first and foremost, this is probably the most accurate picture I've ever seen of this device because it's got a little city skyline in the background here, and this thing is absolutely towering over it, which is fairly accurate because this thing is massive. So we've got the Snowwolf logo right there. On this side, we have our color indication boxes. Mine is black on the top here. Squonk Vfeng with another color indication. On this side here, we have our scratch-off authentication and a UPC. On the bottom, Snowwolf logo. On the back, pretty basic stuff. We have some QR codes for Sigeli's website and Snowwolf's website. Specs, contents, legal disclaimers, warnings, all that good stuff down there. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we get inside the box. Slide that off. Oh, we got paperwork flying out already. First one up is this one here. Keep your original receipt, like we've been seeing on all these Sigeli / Snowwolf / Fuchai mods. We have the security code instructions, so how to use a scratch-off authentication checker thing. We have the manual, which is a booklet-style manual. Oh, wait, what the? Oh, we got a page that flew out. Okay. Oh, well, -1 point for the page flying out, but otherwise, very nice booklet, some pictures, some words, that kind of stuff. There we go. We have, obviously, the device itself in all its big honkin' glory here. And we'll take a look at that in just a second. We have a little QC certificate thing there. Our bag o' parts. We got some coils in there. Decent looking coils. Nowhere near like the level of Watofo, but okay coils, I suppose. We have some O-rings, some spare grub screws, and a separate pin. This is probably your solid pin, I would imagine. Maybe? Maybe it's a spare. No, it's a solid pin. Okay, so we got a solid pin. If you wanted to use the RDA on something else, I will skip that. Then we have the cotton. Yeah, some Japanese cotton. And last but not least, oh, I think I know what this is. Yeah, this is my favorite thing in the world. A USB cable. Yeah, another one. All right, let's just add that to the pile. Alright guys, let's talk about the specs. First of all, it takes a single 18650 battery with the adapter, or a 2700 or a 21700. It has a bottom feeding design with a juice delivery system, utilizes dual squonk bottles to mix and match flavors, which are 3 ml capacity each, 510 threaded, operating wattage is 10 to 120 watts, voltage input is 3.2 to 4.2 volts, voltage output is 1 to 7.5 volts. It supports temp control for nickel, titanium, stainless steel 304, 316, and 317 L, as well as TCR. Temperature range is 100 to 300 Celsius or 212 to 572 Fahrenheit. Resistance range is 0.05 to 3 ohms. It has a 1.3 inch TFT color display screen. Zinc alloy construction. It includes an 18650 battery adapter sleeve, and it has a micro USB charging port. Specs for the Snowwolf Squonk RDA: it's 27 millimeters in diameter, 510 bottom feeding contact pin, which is pre-installed, 4-post build deck design with integrated post holes, steel and aluminum construction, adjustable airflow top cap, dual side airflow slots, and it has an ultra wideboard drip tip. Alright guys, let's get this Vfeng up and running. Let's just pop a battery in here real quick. It is marked on the bottom of the battery door negative, so we're going to put our positive end in first, close up the lid just like that, and boom, it is ready to go. There's about maybe a 1 second splash screen, and that's about it. That's the only time it takes to get this thing up and running. To turn it on and off, it's 5 clicks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it shuts down, and boom, it is off. So only about a second and a half to turn it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turning it on, and about the same to turn it on as well. If you hold the up and down button at the same time, that is for temperature control mode. That's how you control the various different settings there. Fire button and up button will be a battery check right there, as you can see. And the fire button and the down button is going to be lock and unlock. So now our buttons are locked, we can't adjust it there. And same thing to unlock, just like that. And to get into the menu, it's 3 clicks up here, 1, 2, 3. You have mode, set, and exit. So set is going to be for your different settings: power saving mode, puff counter, and preheat function. We're just going to go like that. Power saving off. And let's just check out how to change the mode here. Just go to mode, and then up and down you can select your various different metals. So TCR, nickel, titanium, and stainless steel. We're just going to go back to power, just like that. And that's pretty much it. There's really not a whole lot for the menu settings in this. It's very easy to use, and that's pretty much all you have to know. You know, squonk bottles on this side here. If you want to change those out, you can just undo that, and they just come out just like that. Fill them up, then you just got to line it up and just lock it into place like that. Little door goes back on. Simple, pretty darn easy. So that's going to do it for this little close-up section on the Vfeng. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off with the pros, and my first pro is 2 bottles, 2 flavors. I've been rocking this thing with 2 different flavors in each one of these bottles since the time I opened the box, and that has been something I've absolutely loved about this device. Just the fact that you can mix and match flavors all day long. If you want just the left bottle, you can do that, or the right bottle, or a little bit of both, you could just do that as well, and it just kind of keeps your taste buds on edge. You know, sometimes you get a little bit bored of one particular flavor during the day, and what most people would do is either drip a different flavor or swap their tank out or something like that. Well, with this one here, you can do that on the fly just by pressing one side or the other, or a mixture of both. My second pro today is that it has the same battery life as the Fuchai SQUONKER, which is no surprise to me because essentially they're pretty much the same mod with a little bit different styling, and obviously this one has 2 different squonk bottles, but other than that, it's a single 21700, 2700, or 18650 mod, and I have been rocking it with a 21700, which means I'm getting a little bit better battery life than your standard 18650 or sometimes even 2700, depending on which battery you own. But yeah, I have been enjoying slightly better battery performance out of this one compared to some of my other squonkers. And my third and final pro for this one is the menu system is really easy to use. It's not overcomplicated with a ton of stuff in the menus, and it just takes a couple of clicks to get from regular power mode to temp control and that kind of thing. And honestly, it's just a simple simple menu system, and that's what I love about it. Simplicity is key for most people, and I pretty much consider this thing kind of like a starter kit in a lot of senses because, you know, a lot of people don't want to spend a whole lot of money on their first Squonker, and this is a good place to start because it's regulated and you can set your wattage on it. And after this, you might want to move up to something with a little bit more power, or perhaps something like a mechanical Squonker, something like that. But this is definitely a good place to start. Alright guys, so moving on to the cons. My first con is that the RDA that comes with this thing is garbage. This thing right here, I am not a big fan of whatsoever. It's just overcomplicated, it's really goofy looking, it feels really cheap, and I just don't like it overall. I tried putting a build on this thing for Fresh Build Friday Live, and I failed. Now, I probably could have done it no problem off camera, but then again, I just feel like it's a little bit overcomplicated, and it's really difficult to get your tools in there if you want to adjust your coils whatsoever. So for me, this is definitely a fail. I really feel like Snowwolf should just go back to the drawing board with this one, or just stay out of the RDA game altogether. My second con for this one is that the bottles are tiny. They're only 3 milliliter bottles, and personally, I can go through 3 mils of juice in about half an hour, 45 minutes if I'm chain vaping on it, and that means between both bottles, you're talking about maybe an hour to an hour and a half tops. Now, that means to you guys out there, if you want to go anywhere with this thing during the day, you're probably going to have to take a bottle of juice, or if you're like me, you're going to have to take 2 different bottles of juice because personally I've been filling each different bottle with a different flavor, so kind of defeats the purpose of having a Squonker in the first place. My third con for this one is that it's nearly impossible to refill these Squonk bottles without making a royal mess. Now, I've tried everything in my power to not make a mess when I'm filling these things, but every single time I end up with a ton of juice everywhere, and it's a big pain for me because then you're talking about a lot of cleanup, especially with these little silicone bottles. You tend to squeeze them a little bit as you're trying to wipe them off, like wipe the excess juice off the outside, and that makes even more mess. So with that, just really wish they came out with some sort of refilling system that was a lot more efficient. My fourth con for this one is that it's big, it's bulky, and it's really uncomfortable to hold. This thing doesn't have the nice sleek curves that you would really want out of a nice comfortable mod. Instead, they went for a more kind of industrial sort of look to it with big blocky kind of edges, and it just really doesn't feel good when you're vaping on it. It doesn't feel good in the hand, and I really couldn't see myself vaping this thing all day just because of that. And my fifth con for this one is that the bottle door covers are a little bit fiddly and rattly, just kind of like the Fuchai Squonk, where it just doesn't really hold on to it that well with the magnets that are included, and occasionally you get that rattly sort of noise to it. I'm going to try to demonstrate that now for you guys. So yeah, the bottle doors on this thing are on the rattly side, and it just feels a little bit weird when you're gripping onto this thing and you feel them kind of move around in your hand. They have a lot of play, and I'm just not okay with that. And this one I'm going to call con number 5.5 because it makes no difference in the performance whatsoever, but I just felt a little bit cheated because there's no light behind the Snowwolf logo on the back. I was a little bit bummed about that, and that's probably the only time I'm ever going to be bummed that there's no light on a mod, but I really did like that on the original. It had this sort of light going on behind the Snowwolf logo, and it made it look pretty cool, but you don't get that on this one. You instead get this little metal boring grate thing. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one in for a review? I'm going to say no to this one because I am more performance-based rather than style. And this one is nice with the 2 different Squonk bottles, but that really doesn't outweigh the fact that those Squonk bottles are tiny, and I would rather have something with a little bit better performance over the whole styling and kind of gimmick thing. So I'm going to go with the Fuchai Squonker over this one, in my opinion. And with that, I'm not going to bring this thing with me on the desert island, but if you guys want to check one out for yourself, I'll leave a link right down there in the description below. But that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Big shout out to you guys and the notification squad for getting here early. Don't forget to leave me some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Vfeng or anything else you guys want to discuss down there. Also, make sure you check out the advocacy and my social media links right down there in the description below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on. Brr.